In this video, I'm going to show you how to produce a list of 5,000 mainstays products and get them into this Google sourcing sheet that I created. But first of all, what I'm going to do is show you the overall process, and then I'll show you in more detail how to actually do it. And the first thing is using Keepa product finder. So you do have to get Keepa, and the product finder is a subscription service. It is, however, under $20 a month, so it is very affordable. And using the filters of this Keepa system, I was able to pull up a total of 4,966 products of the Mainstays brand. Right now we're looking at just 1,000 of those products. Then from there you download the products into a Excel CSV file. Now the Excel CSV file is a very large file, and this is difficult to work with. So what I did is I created an Excel system that takes the CSV file, and it's very easy to do. It's a push button system. You just use buttons to do everything, and it actually turns that CSV into this very nice table that you see in front of you, with the brand, the category, all of the data that you need, the ASIN, the rank, UPC codes, even the prices, FBA fees if they're available. So it gives you all this stuff, even the stars, reviews. And then optionally, what you can do from here, and what I do is I actually take this data and I copy and paste it into a sourcing and profit Google sheet that I created. And what this does is it allows me to easily and quickly source products by creating links to each product. So I can just click the links and the product will open on Amazon. Also, it has a link to open the product on Google, so I can quickly and easily Google the product, and then I can go through and look for the source of the product, which should be on Walmart in this case. And then I even have a barcode lookup function that will look up the barcode, the UPC code of the product. Sometimes you get a result from barcodes. It depends on the listing, but sometimes it will give you results, and then you can find the product there. But usually the Google search is enough, and that's basically the process. And it's actually quite easy to do. And what I'll do is I'll go ahead and do a run through of the process right now. So to do that, I'm going to have to go back to the filter, the advanced filter, and I'm going to show you exactly what I filled in here to do this process. So on Keepa, you go to the product finder, and there's certain things that I entered here. For one, you have sales rank number, and where it says current, I put from 1. And what this means is that I only want products that have a rank of 1 or more, because there are some products that don't have a rank at all. So that's in the first section. Now in the second section, I'm going to scroll down to the second section. So you can skip all of these. There are a ton of filters in Keepa, but I'm not using most of them. And then in the brand section, I'm actually going to remove these so you can see how it's done. You just type in brands, and actually there's a pop-up list. Now with the Mainstays brand, you have Mainstays with an S, which is the right way to write it, but there are a ton of listings where the S was left out and it says Mainstay, and there are actually, it says 15,969. So in this case, I'll actually enter the Mainstay and Mainstays with the S. Alright, and if I do both of those, it will tell me how many products I have, right? Okay, and again, I'm just going to check the rank up here to see what that says. So now it reprocessed, and it's telling me that it's 4,965 products. And the only other thing I might want to do in this case, what I normally do is in the last section, I go right here, and it says 90 days out of stock percentage. This is for Amazon. So we don't want products that are sold by Amazon. It's hard to sell things that are sold by Amazon. It's hard to compete. So we want Amazon out of stock 100% of the time, right, if possible. So I put 100 here, and then that gives me the 4,965 products, right? So the actual number of products can differ slightly from one moment to the next. So right now it's 4,965 products. Okay, one other thing I do at the bottom, I always check this off: allow products with possibly outdated price information. And the reason is that most of the prices come out correct, but I don't mind if some of the prices aren't correct, because when I source it, I'm going to check the price anyway. Alright, so go ahead and include everything. Click on that, and you simply click on Find Products. And you just have to wait for it to pull up this list of products. Now it's showing me 1,000 products on one page, and you can actually set this to the number of products you want to see on one page. So I have it set to 1,000. And as you can imagine, for me to actually go through 1,000 products, of course, that will take a long time, but it's great to have so many products available. And actually, this is 1,000 out of 4,965 in total. Now, the real issue, however, is that to save this data, right? We don't want to run the filter and then lose all of this data. So, and by the way, if you scroll over, you'll see there's a lot of product data in here, stars, reviews, ranks, there's a lot of stuff in here. And so what you can do is you export it, all right? You click on export, you say all active columns. If you only want to see the ASINs, you can do only ASINs as well, but I'm going to do all active columns so we can get all the product data. And use CSV format, it comes out better. And then you export it to a CSV. Now I will simply open that CSV file so you can see it. Okay, so here's the CSV file. Now this is great. Now we have all the data, but keep in mind this is just the first page of data on Keepa. This is not 5,000, this is 1,000 products. So I will have to keep moving the page over to get the other ones, but right now 1,000 products is a lot already to start off with. And what I'm going to do is show you how I simply take this and I copy it into my Excel system. Now let me go over to the Excel system and clear it. I'm going to go to controls because I have the data in there from before. So I'm just going to clear it out. And this is my Keepa data filter system. It's a push button system. And what I'm actually going to do is go back to the CSV and just click right here in this upper left hand corner. And that basically selects all of the data on the page. At this point, we just copy the data, just like that, right? We just copy all the data. Then we go over to the Keepa data filter system and go to the Keepa CSV tab right here, and we just paste the data in here, right? Now, actually, I did copy and paste, but I do have an import CSV, but then you would have to save the CSV first in order for that to work correctly. So it's actually just quicker to copy and paste it, I think. So I usually just copy and paste it. But the import option is there. Once we copy and paste the data over, okay, we have the filter over here, but it's blank, all right? The filter is going to be blank until I do this, all right? So now I have to press filter CSV. When I click filter CSV, now you see all the data from the CSV is on this nice filter. And what I did is I preset the filter for certain things: brand, main category, product group, Amazon out of stock, buy box. And these are my titles that I created because the original Keepa titles are actually kind of crazy, a lot of them. And so what this does is it actually simplifies the title so you can understand exactly what you're looking at. And then it also puts the data inside here for you, and this is much more organized and easier to look at. And then I have an automated Amazon link. If you want to open up the products on Amazon right away, you can just click the links and that will open the products in your browser, right? So you can do that as well. Now, another thing you can do from here is you can actually go ahead and filter the products. So if you only want, for example, fulfilled by merchant, these are my 3 columns I added to calculate sellers. So if you only want fulfilled by merchant 100% seller, then you can do that, which means 100% of the sellers, or all the sellers on the listing are fulfilled by merchant. Or if you want it all fulfilled by Amazon or whatever, right? So you can use filters. Now the main thing you can do here, if you don't want to filter anything, is you can just go ahead and copy everything. Now you can highlight and drag this all the way down, or on my keyboard on a PC you can use Control-Shift down, and that will actually go all the way down. The only problem is if you have a blank column like this, it might stop. So actually in this case what I'm going to do is just go ahead and highlight. Now look, I'm starting at rank, by the way, and going over to FBA fee, and I'm going to go ahead and just highlight everything all the way down to the bottom. And I know it's kind of a pain in the neck to do this sometimes, but it's just 1,000 products, so because they only let you download 1,000 at a time, right? So you have 1,000, which is obviously plenty. And you're going to then take these over to the Google sourcing sheet. And what I'll do is just paste them in here. Right? Now I already have something here, so I'll just paste over it, right? Remember, I went from rank to the Amazon fee, or to the FBA fee rather. So I need to go ahead. The point is, you need to click under rank and then right click, paste special, and paste values, right? So it requires some some small Excel skills, all right, in order to use this. I mean, you do need to know how to copy and paste to get the data from point A to point B, right? And actually the data is basically the same data I had here before. Okay, now that the data is in on the Google Sheet, right, I can go ahead and start sourcing. Now you might say, wow, that was quite a process, but think about the number of products I now have available, right? So, that's 1,000 products that I can source now, right? And none of them are sold by Amazon. So that's an important thing to keep in mind. I'm going to show you how this makes your workflow so much better, because if I want to source this product now, I have a link, right? And when you point at these links, you actually get a nice preview of the product. So you actually get to see what these products look like. Okay, so right away, you can see what they look like. I'm going to go ahead and source this. I mean, I could go in order, but I'm just going to kind of jump around, right? So here's a mainstay, motion sensor, trash can, right? And then, I mean, I do have a Google search link if you want to go ahead and Google, but it's actually easy just to double click, right, and Google search and see if we find the product at Walmart. Mainstays is a Walmart brand, so that's where you're going to find the product, right? $39.98, right? And then we see it's $57.20. Okay, I mean, you can check the variation because it might be a different variation. The silver, the black, see if they're the same price. I think they are, right? And so basically you can source your products. But what makes this what's good about this is that you can then take notes, right? You can put down your notes if you want. If you want to put a note here, you can do that. But mainly, it also allows you to calculate the profit. That's the main thing. So you can actually paste this in here. Okay. You can put the variation if it's silver, whatever it is, right? I might as well show you how to actually use this. The number of units, meaning how many are you purchasing. So you would be purchasing one in this case for $39.98. Okay, the shipping is free at Walmart over $35. You don't know what tax you're going to pay. Let's say 8%. Some people like to go in the middle. This is really made for FBA and FBM. So if you know your tax already, you can put that instead of the percentage. I'm putting 8% if we don't know the tax, right? And now it's going to calculate for you. Okay, the total cost of the item. And number of units per ASIN is usually 1, but let's say it was a 2-pack on Amazon, you would have to put a 2 here, meaning 2 units for every ASIN, right? Ship to Amazon FBA. Okay, so if you're doing FBA, then you would have some FBA profit or something like that, right? But instead what I have is I have the FBM profit. Now let me see what happened with the FBA, because I think it should be showing me something. Okay, that's the ROI. I just want to see if there's something here. Okay, so, oh yeah, so because the FBA fee is empty, the FBA is not going to calculate. So you have to have an FBA fee. Some don't have an FBA fee here. There's another calculator on Amazon you can use. You can put the ASIN. If they don't have the FBA fee, you're going to have to just list the product as FBA, which you can do. You can do that without selling it. You can just list it as FBA, and then you'll see what the FBA fee is, right? But if you're just doing fulfilled by merchant, then you're good to go here, right? And this is whether you're shipping it yourself or if you're drop shipping. Either way, you can still use this calculator, right? If you're shipping it to actually shipping it to a customer, you're going to have to put the $sign in here. The amount, I'm sorry, not the $sign, the amount in here. All right, so that's the difference. Okay, and that's basically how this works overall, right? So I mean, in this video, of course, I'm not going to sit here and source 1,000 products. The point is that you now have the data for all of these products available, and as time allows, you can come to your sourcing sheet and you can source a few products. You can do 20, right? Let's say you have time to do 20 products, you do 20. And the great thing is that instead of just doing 20 and just, you know, running away and not having data, you actually have the data stored, right? So if I source this right now, okay, you see right now the product is $2.49 and it's out of stock, but the point is it can come back into stock, right? So the point is I found the product, right? So I'm going to copy the product, and this is the blue version of that product, right? And I would just put that source here again, and I would put blue here just so I know which one I'm talking about. 1 unit, even though it's out of stock, like I said, it could come back into stock. So $249.97, right? There's no shipping on it. If you don't know the tax, you can go in between. I sometimes like to go with a high tax at 10%, right? And I'm really going to look at fulfilled by merchant for this, and I see that it's already negative, right? Losing profit. So this is a good thing to know this right away and to have the record of it. All right, so that's the whole point. Not every product is going to be profitable, right? If it were that easy, I mean, it's just not that easy, right? So if you're getting 10% cash back, I'm just making up a number, like if you're using shopsmarter.com or something, right? Actually you would still be able to make a small profit on this, but not much. Okay, but anyway, the purpose of this is not really right now, is not for me to show you how to calculate profit, but it does calculate the profit for you very easily once you put in the numbers. But the point is that you now have this complete list of product data that you can come here and source products whenever you want to. Now, of course, you could have multiple copies of this, right? Once you get a copy of this, you can go to File, Make a Copy, and you could make other copies of it. And because you might want to do mainstays, 1,000 mainstays, and then you might have 200 of another brand, right? And that might be a separate sheet. As you can see, I put mainstays in the title. That's how I keep track of the different copies I have. So you could do another copy with a different brand, right? So this will work with any brand, because Keepa has many different brands inside the filter. When you go to Advanced Filter, you'll see that you can pretty much put any letter here, and you'll see a ton of brands under that letter if you put the letter A. So, I mean, they have all the Amazon product data in their system. Like, they have access to all of Amazon's data, right? And it's a lot of data. So you can pretty much pull up any brand and all the data for that brand. So now, to get access to these, okay, I should have some kind of link provided. These are two separate things, right? The Keepa data filter system is one thing. And by the way, I forgot to mention that with this system, right, you're not going to save the data here, because you need to keep using this over and over again, right, to keep filtering different systems or brands. So what you're going to do after you create the filter, you just export it. And what this does is it creates a separate file automatically for you with all of the Amazon data from the page that you just filtered, and you just save it, right? So I would save this as mainstays page 1, right? And that would complete the process of getting all this product data and having it stored permanently on your computer. Now the other thing is that you can go back, and well, I'm off that page now, but on the previous page, actually I could go back to it with Find Products, and you will now scroll to the next page. So now you'll go to page 2, all right, and on page 2 you'll do the same process. You'll download 1,000 products, all right, you'll download the CSV, of course, you'll bring it in here, and what you're going to do is just clear the CSV that's already in here, right? Erase it, clear the filter that's already in here. See, that erases it. And you're ready to go again. You just copy and paste the CSV in here, filter the CSV, export the filter, and you have another file of 1,000 mainstays products. So that's going to be 2,000 products. And then you do it a third, fourth, fifth time, and you'll have 5,000 products, right? 5 different filters with 1,000 products in each filter. So you'll have basically 5 of these, right? That's a lot of products. I mean, you, as one person, it would take forever to even go through all those products. That will last you a very long time. And then, of course, if you have VAs working for you or other people who work with you or whatever, you know, you can split it up. You can send out files to different people, and they can go through the products, and they can source them and see if they can find profitable products. All right, so so I believe this is really kind of necessary in the climate on Amazon now, where you find a product and then other people, there's more competition, right? And there's a lot of sellers, but there's still profitable products. But you need to be able to get a lot of products quickly. You need access to a lot of product data in a short amount of time, so that when 3 or 4 of your products aren't working anymore, you have another 1,000 that you can at least consider those products, and then find out if some of those products are profitable, right? Go through your list and see if you can find some more profitable products. And this is just one brand, of course. I'm using Mainstays, but there are, tons and tons of brands out there. You just have to find the brands at suppliers, which I've shown, demonstrated in other videos that I've made. So you do that, and you just, come to the filter and filter out that brand. So anyway, check this video for any links. All right. For one, I'll link to Keepa. Sign up for Keepa. All right. For the product data features. There's actually a free version of Keepa, but that only gives you the price history, right? And actually, it's not really the purpose of this video, but I might as well show you that too. This is important as well, which is that Keepa also, when you have the product data features subscription, you get the full Keepa graphs. Okay, so the free Keepa doesn't look like this. The free version Chrome extension for Keepa, they give you just the price history, which is good. You need the price history. But when you sign up for this, okay, when you do the product data features on Keepa, you also get access to this, all right? So you can see all the different, ratings, how many sellers have been on it over time. You see at the bottom, the new offer count here at the bottom. So you can see the number of sellers, how it has changed over time. You can see all these different things, all right? You can see how the rank has changed over time. You can see how the price has changed over time, right? Which is very important, all right? So that's another thing that you get with this, right? You also have a product bestsellers. I mean, they have a bunch of stuff here. So you're not just getting the filter when you sign up for product data features. You get in all of this stuff, which I haven't even shown in this video, right? Because there's so much of it. I haven't even learned all this stuff yet. There's so much. So you're getting all this stuff for under $20 a month, less than $20 a month. So I think it's actually a great deal. So you should check that out. And by the way, if you're going to consider getting my system here, this is driven by Visual Basic. And if you don't know what that is, it's just a coding language that runs behind Excel and makes Excel work, right? And so that's what I use to make Excel do the things that it does in that system, right? So what you will see on this video is a link to a compatibility test. Because before you get it, I just want you to really make sure that you can run it on your computer. I mean, I don't see why you wouldn't be able to if you have Excel on your computer, but just test it. So when you click that link for the test version, it will bring you to this drive if you have a Google account, which you should. And then just download these, okay? Download this Excel system, download the CSV test system. This Excel system is just like it's not like the full version of what I just showed you. It's more like imitation version, I guess you could say, of this. And when you open it, you're just going to test the CSV and make sure that you can do import CSV, filter CSV, clear CSV, and all of that, right? So you just open the test system and you make sure that you can do those things. All right, let's see if the test system will open. I would kind of like you to see. Here it is. Okay, so here's the Excel macro test system. So it looks very similar to the main one, but you see it's different. And then you'll just copy and paste the CSV data over here, which you're going to get the CSV data right here. So you just download this, and then you just copy and paste it into this test system. All right, and then you're just going to press filter. And you just make sure, okay, this is, and then you just press filter, and then you'll see the filter. All right, so that, let's see, I mean, if you can open this on your computer and you can press these buttons and they do something, then you know it works, right? You do clear, it clears. You do clear filter, it clears, right? So if this one works, the test system, it's the same thing as this. It's just more simple, so it's just smaller, right? Just less tabs, really, that's it. So if it works, then you know that the main one will work, and then you can go ahead and get a copy of this. So basically, a small donation will be required for access to these systems, to the system. Well, not to this is the test system, to the real system, the one I demonstrated in the video, right? The real filter. And also for the Google Sheet. And when you do that, what it does is it helps this project continue. It helps cover the expenses, because there are expenses that come with me doing all of this, the technology expenses, hosting, all kind of stuff that you know, when you get a copy of this, it helps to support that and keep this going and keep this project going, so I can continue to provide these kinds of resources and information on this channel and other channels that I run. So it's greatly appreciated if you do decide to get the system. And of course, I believe personally that it's very useful and for many people actually necessary, you know, in being able to get large amounts of data. And the great thing is you're not paying for it every month. You're just getting this one time. You install it on your computer, not install it, but you just open it on your computer and you use it, right? Now, of course, Keepa requires a monthly subscription, so that's another story. But even if you're not using Keepa, and even if you're not using the filter, you can still use the Google Sheet to do sourcing. You can just manually put the ASINs in here and manually put the prices in here, right? Just manually put the data in here, and it's still going to calculate for you. You still have the links where you can source more quickly. You can put in your information here and it will calculate the profits and everything, right? So even if you don't get Keepa, or even if you don't get the, you know, Keepa data, well, basically if you don't get Keepa, you can still use the Google Sheet for sourcing as well. And one last thing I do need to show you, I keep thinking of more things. If you get this and you want to clear a sheet, okay, when you first click this button, which you don't really need to do this, you could just create a separate copy. But if you want to clear the data on a sheet, you click one of these buttons. But it's going to tell you that it needs permission to run. So you can go ahead. It's just something that Google does. It asks for permission first, for you to grant permission, because it's like, it treats it like an app trying to run, but it's really just some script code that I wrote to clear the sheet. Okay, so once you click on that, you're going to have to give it permission to run, and that's about it. So anyway, once you have a Google account, you're pretty much good to go. Just click the links. If you have any comments, any questions, or anything like that, or suggestions, you just leave them below, or you can get me by email. I should have my email on this video as well. You can get me on Facebook. Those are two great ways to reach me. One is through the Facebook that I've provided, as well as the email address I've provided. And so this is Mr. Mark and Excel for Amazon, and hope to see you in another video.